What if there was a safe space for you to explore artificial intelligence? What if there was a team of friendly professionals waiting to help you examine what you can do with AI in your courses? Welcome to the world of what if.
Hello, my name is Ivy Yim, and here at COSI, I am an instructional design assistant. So I've only been here for a couple of months, and I've really enjoyed being on the team, being here at COSI, and really understanding what it means to eventually become an instructional designer and really help out professors and other people develop courses and really dive in to the process that makes the high quality and the awesome courses that we create here at COSI. So my presentation today is teaching AI literacy with AI. Why just talk about AI when you can teach with it? We can use AI to model curiosity, critical thinking, and creativity, and that is the core of what true AI literacy is. So let's dive in, play, and discover how AI can help you bring learning to life. So our agenda for today is we're going to start off with asking the big question. And later on, we're going to answer that big question and see if you've kind of changed your thoughts on AI literacy. Then we're going to go ahead and introduce you to some AI users that's going to go over AI literacy, what's a good prompt, what's a bad prompt, and then we're going to rate some AI prompts together. Then at the end, we're going to learn about the why behind the importance of learning AI literacy. So our big question for today is why, when you use AI, how do you know if your prompt was effective? Since AI is new to us, we don't really exactly know how to prompt. And with the practice over and over, you'll start to understand, oh, that's a good prompt, that's a bad prompt. Now, a bad prompt doesn't mean that it's terrible, it should not be ever answered. A bad prompt just means, do you have enough information for the AI user to understand your question and have less prompting? And a good prompt just minimizes the amount of times you have to answer the 1,000 question it asks you. So let's start by seeing who our AI users are. So may I ask who you are and what do you think about AI literacy?
I am Promptimono. AI literacy is about understanding how AI thinks, how to guide it, and how to interpret its responses.
Awesome. Nice to meet you, Promptimono. So Promptimono here is telling you that AI literacy is understanding how to guide, how to understand what it thinks, and how to interpret its responses. So when you're prompting, you want to make sure you're understanding, okay, before I start doing my prompts, am I guiding it to what I want it to go to? Is it going to interpret the response that I'm aiming for? All right, let's meet our next user. So who might you be and what is bad prompting?
I am AIGPT us. What makes a bad prompt, you might ask? Vague, missing constraints, shallow, or not specific enough. It fails to guide us towards the intended purpose, audience, and the depth of reasoning.
So here is AI GPTs, and he's telling you that bad prompting is when you basically don't have enough information where AI can kind of grab and produce something that you're looking for. So a bad prompt, you might have not enough constraints, it might not be specific enough, and you might not be guiding it towards that answer that you're looking for. Maybe you're missing the audience. So if you're a college professor and you're typing out a prompt, but you don't mention the level students they are, and then it prompts or it outputs you something for elementary school, it's not going to exactly work. So you want to make sure you're writing down the correct audience, what you're looking for, it's gaining or going after, and the depth of reasoning. All right, and our last AI user, who might you be and what does good prompting look like?
I'm AI Gemini. What makes a prompt good? When they are specific, contextual, have constraints, and creative. It helps us understand our role, task, and constraints to guide you towards your learning or teaching goal.
So here's some tips on good prompting. So when you're very specific, when you have enough context, you have your constraints, and you're creative, then AI understands what you're trying to get out of that question or that prompt you're asking. So now let's go ahead and dive into some prompts. So I have a few examples today, and today we're going to go and judge some prompts to understand what a good prompt looks like and learn what AI literacy is. All right, first prompt, grade this student's paper and tell me what score it deserves. Do you think it's a good prompt? Thumbs up. Do you think it's a bad prompt? Thumbs down. Michelle's a thumbs down. Okay, thank you, Michelle. Awesome. Let's see if it's a good prompt or a bad prompt. It is a bad prompt. So why is it a bad prompt? There are no rubrics. There's not enough criteria. The grading scale, there's really no grading scale, and the course expectation. So that's exactly what Miguel and Lisa had mentioned. Now, how can we revise this? Now, for the first prompt, let's do it together. And then for the next few, let's go ahead and see if you guys can get the idea on how to revise one. All right. So revisions for this is, instead of writing grade the student's paper and tell me what score it deserves, you can go ahead and write, using the rubric below, score this 3-page student response with a 1 to 4 scale per category and provide feedback in these 4 sections: the strengths, the main areas to improve, 2 actionable revision steps, 1 encouraging closing sentence, and then input your rubric, and then input the student's work, but keep it anonymous. So delete anything such as that's private, so their name, anything that you should not be putting online. Keep it very anonymous, vague, so you don't know whose student work that is. All right, our second prompt. I need 10 quiz questions on diffusion and osmosis for intro bio. 8 multiple choice, 2 short answer. Make them medium difficulty, not trick questions. Include the answer key and 1 sentence explanation for each. Now, do you think this is a good prompt or if it's a bad prompt? So this was a tricky one, and it is a good prompt. Awesome. All right, now let's see how we can revise this. Would anyone like to try to do a revision? So we know that's good because it's short and it has a topic, it has a format, it has the difficulty level and the output requirements. Is there a revision needed? Do you want to add more to it, Miguel? Or is it good to go?
I think it's mostly good to go, but for added customization, I may think to upload an outline of my lesson along with my requests so that it's more related to what I'm talking about in the lecture.
Thank you, Miguel. So that is perfect addition to this. So then it helps the AI user that's there to understand, oh, let's be more specific, so there would be less prompting. This is a good one, but you can definitely always add more to it to lessen prompting and lessen the time you're sitting there answering their question. All right, and our third prompt, create a lesson plan on photosynthesis for college students. Include learning objectives, activities, and an assessment. Do you think it's a thumbs up good prompt, thumbs down a bad prompt? So in the room and online, we're having kind of a mixed review for this one. Now, this one was a tricky one because what we've learned so far, it has all the details and everything that should be a good prompt, but it is actually a bad prompt. Why is this a bad prompt? This looks wonderful. I'm telling it to create a lesson plan on photosynthesis. This is subject for college students. That's the area audience I'm looking for, and to include the learning objectives, activities, and an assessment with it. So why is it a bad prompt? Because it is missing what level of college students. So even though it's a photosynthesis course lesson plan for college students, is this for undergrad? Is this for graduates? Is this for people who are transitioning back into college? Yes.
Also, Michelle wrote the reason and said, I would give the AI a role and I would add more information on what the subject matter is, also what level is the college students, etc.
Exactly. So thank you, Michelle, for posting online. So that's what Michelle was saying, the level of college students. Even though it says college students, there is a wide range of the level here at the universities or at a community college or even in trade school. So we don't know the level. It could be an intro course. It could be a very advanced course. What else is it missing? How long the class is. So some of us prefer 3-hour long classes. Maybe some of us like the 1-hour classes. Maybe some of us like the 30-minute and then a break and then a 30-minute continuation. So how long is this course? Maybe the lesson is only a 15-minute lesson. So we don't know how long the class really is. So we want to make sure we have that in there because AI will generate a really long lesson plan that could take you maybe 5 hours to teach photosynthesis, and that's not what you're looking for. So the depth, how much are you going into this subject? The format, so is there a way you teach it? Is there a certain style? So maybe you want to do a 10-minute lecture, a 15-minute individual assignment, and then like another 10-minute group collab, and then maybe a 5-minute review at the end. What is the format for this lesson? Are there any constraints? And what is the assessment? You want a 5 pop quiz assessment, maybe a 20 exam question, maybe a 2-question kind of little quiz, maybe just 1 short response. So what is the assessment that you're giving them? So with this missing details, let's stop and think about how can we revise this? Let's go ahead and check out what a revision might look like. Now, these revisions don't always have to be exactly what you see. You can tweak it to however fits yours best. And thank you everyone in the room for participating in our good or bad prompting little session. So revision for this one is create a 50-minute lesson plan on photosynthesis for an intro biology. So it's a 100 level class of 40 students. Now, students already know the basic cell structure, but struggle with energy conversion concepts. So we want to include a measurable learning objectives, a 10-minute mini lecture outline, a 15-minute in-class small group activity using a simple diagram worksheet, a 5-question exit ticket mix of multiple choice and short answer. And then some common misconceptions for this lesson and how to address them. And we want the tone to be clear and student-friendly. So with the tone, it's telling you, okay, make the vocabulary more student-oriented rather than with advanced vocabulary where the intro biology students have no idea what this vocab is. All right, so let's learn about the why behind it. Why is it so important to understand what good prompting looks like and what bad prompting might look like? Now, remember, a bad prompt does not necessarily mean that it's terrible, it should not be a question, you should not be answering it. A bad prompt just means that maybe the AI is just going to have to prompt you a lot and ask you a lot of questions when you're limited on time. Or maybe you don't want to sit there answering those questions. You're making it so it's very quick and very specific to your needs. Now, why are we learning about AI literacy? We are now transitioning from information givers to skill cultivators. So as educators in this generation, we're no longer just giving information and sitting there, standing there, presenting, and just overloading brains. We're now developing skill. So the importance of skill is how we advance as a society, as people, as humans. We want to develop skills that we might not have. Now, it's super important while students are in school to have that AI skill because once they go out in the workforce, they're not going to be given that opportunity, whereas here in school, they can trial and error and really develop that skill of how to use AI. Now, future-proofing our learners. We want to make sure when they graduate, when they're out of our learning, that they're getting careers, they're getting opportunities to grow. So before they step out into that world, we want to have a path for them that gives them the chance to compete, that gives them that chance to be the one to advance our society so then we can do many things. And finally, the why is being comfortable with using AI. When I first started getting introduced to AI and working here at COSI, I was scared of AI. I was scared that, oh, it's gonna take my information and do things with it online. I have actually gotten really comfortable with AI, and it has helped supported me in my learning on a subject. Maybe the professor didn't have time to meet with me, so really understanding a specific concept, I chat with AI to learn more about it. Or maybe if I just wanted to learn a different language, I can use AI to help me translate, and AI has really helped me a lot in my life and my learning as well. Now, being comfortable with using AI doesn't mean that it's just prompting. Can you use those tools? So working here at COSI, I was introduced GEMS and all the other wonderful things that come with AI that's not just prompting. So I have gotten comfortable with AI, and this whole presentation was using AI. So all the images you see was created with Google Gemini. The AI users, the voice that's reading to you was AI generated. Everything you see on the slide in this presentation was all AI generated. So it had really helped me create this presentation today. And our big question, big loop around, when you use AI, how do you know if your prompt was effective? So let's stop and think about, how do you know if it was effective? What did we learn today? Or maybe what is one takeaway that you had no idea could improve your prompting? So Tanya basically said that to know if your prompt was effective is, are you limiting the amount of times that AI is asking you questions? Are you getting the answer that you're seeking? So that is how you know the prompt was effective. Alrighty, so remember, at the end of the day, the goal is not to compete with AI, but to collaborate with it. Use it as an assistant. Use it as someone that's training you. Maybe you want to, and you don't have the time or ability, is to be learning more about history and you don't have that time. Sitting down with AI for a few minutes every day can actually help you learn about history or learn some recipes. Maybe you want to start cooking and you don't want to buy a cookbook, or you don't know what to do with it. I've actually, in AI before, listed all the ingredients I have and told it to give me 5 different food items that I could make, because I also don't know what to eat. So then AI prompted itself and gave me all these different food things I could do, how to cook it, how long it'll take, the prep work, and did step-by-step for everything that made my life easier. So remember, it's not a competition, it's about collaboration. And here are some helpful links. So our Playground site, and then previous Playground presentations, we have a YouTube playlist. So if you would like to watch Katie's presentation again, it is up on YouTube or any other past Playground presentations. If you would like to attend future Playground events, we do have the tech event calendar. And if you have questions about AI, you can email us at playground@fau.edu. And if you want to request a Gemini Canvas integration, you can submit an FAU help desk ticket. And if you want to work or have any questions with online education, learning, anything, you can send in an open lab request form and we'll be here to help you. And finally, if you did not know that, because I didn't know that until I did some research, FAU has a website page of endorsed AI tools. So there's more than just the Microsoft Copilot that FAU has endorsed with. And thank you for being here today with my presentation. I hope you enjoy it.